service by their purity. So what's the best soap? It's the one that has the least impurities. It doesn't have any animal products, doesn't have any scent, it doesn't have any weird chemicals or, unbiodegradable chemicals. We just got this great neem soap from Mother Swati. Oh yeah, it's so nice, Neem and what else has it got in it? Tulsi, right? Oh man, I mean the whole bathroom smells beautiful now. Just from the soap. And the other day, Uddhava came over to my cabin to visit, and I said, "Do you have scented oil on or something?" And he said, "No, I just washed with the soap." Oh, that's what it's, the soap. So when things are nice and pure, then they're very pleasant. They're very nice to have, But instead, they're adding different chemicals for color, chemicals for artificial scent, chemicals for this, chemicals for that. Who knows what their effects are? In most cases, there's no adequate research or anything like that. And why should we have to make all of that bother, just to determine what's safe? So there's so many useless things. Why do they change the model of car every year? There's like 500 different kinds of cars that you can get. Well, why do you need so many cars? A car is for getting from A to B without breaking too many laws, hopefully. So why do you need a car that'll go 200 miles an hour? It's useless. Useless. And stupid, That's a good way to get in an accident. So we don't need a car. Our car barely runs. Gets us back and forth to town. That's about it. But that's fine. That's all we need it for. We don't need a better truck than that. The most ambitious thing we did with this truck was carry a load of manure and straw up the hill. That's good enough. It's okay. Yeah, we just spent $1,000 on it. It's good enough. So when you have something that's good enough, why improve it further? So you can charge more for it? Yeah, that's what they do. They add features and then they try to charge more and make more profit. See, but it's about the profit. It's not about doing good for the customer. So these are useless things. This whole Western materialistic civilization is based on the manufacture and distribution of useless things. And then people get, I've heard people get into fights over what brand of car they drive. Or what football team T-shirt they have on. That is nothing more useless than being a sports fan. It's completely useless. What good is it? There's nothing, there's no spiritual advancement in that. There's nothing, I just don't see it. I mean, education, yeah, up to a point that's useful. And the more educated, the more literate a person is, generally the better they do in devotional service. But on the other hand, if someone becomes too intelligent, too speculative, they can ruin everything by, guessing games and politics and all this stuff. So everything has a use in Krishna consciousness up to a point. And we're willing to accept that up to the point where too much of it becomes a detriment. Okay. And that's the real criterion of renunciation, by the way. We renounce everything that has no use in Krishna's service. But if it has any use in Krishna's service, then we accept it, as long as we don't have to endeavor too hard for it. If it comes easily, then we accept it and we engage it in Krishna's service. So that's very nice. Soon we're going to be in India, and we're going to be in a position where we can get a house built of natural materials, locally grown, organic, no paint, no plastic, no wallboard, no plywood. Plywood, it has, what's that stuff they put into dead bodies? Formaldehyde, yeah. Plywood has a lot of formaldehyde in it. You didn't know that? Oh, come on. Oh, come on, the South there where you live, that's where most of the plywood in the U.S. is made. And the plants where it is made are very dangerous. And the people who work there, they get lung disease after a while from inhaling too much formaldehyde. It's very, very bad stuff. Huh? Carcinogenic, yeah, they get cancer and like that. So you don't want to have, the trailers that FEMA had made for the Katrina hurricane victims had so much formaldehyde, I couldn't even stand to go in them.
You could smell it?
Yeah. Yeah, formaldehyde smells really bad. So all these things are basically useless. You know, I had a friend in Atlanta who bought a new house. And I came in, she said, come on, take a look at my new house. So I went over there, and I walked in the house, and I go, you're going to buy this house? It stinks. Oh, she was so mad. I don't think she never spoke to me after that. But the house stunk. I mean, between the new paint, the wallboard, with, you know, the gypsum, and then they use some kind of glue and stuff to stick it together, and the plywood, and the formaldehyde, and the plastic, and gosh knows what else was in the windows, and this and that. Oh yeah, all that nice asbestos insulation, you know, and all that stuff. I mean, it all is made with chemicals, and it was horrible. But why does anybody become attached to this nonsense? Why don't they just stick with good old natural construction materials? You know, in many places, these things are even mandated by construction codes. You have to use them. So it's really horrible. The whole society, the whole Western society is like that.
Video games.
Oh, that's a good one. Video games. Yeah. No use whatsoever in devotional service. Complete waste of time. Speaking of complete waste of time, Monty Python, you know, comedy shows, absurdity. You know, you look on just look on YouTube. Most of the shows on YouTube are just completely absurd, useless nonsense. Why would anybody want to waste their time on this so-called entertainment? What is entertainment? It means after working so hard that you become exhausted, then you go sit back passively and somebody entertains you. Then you can forget about your pain and your sorrows. Huh? Forget your troubles. Come on, get happy. Take some intoxication. Watch some nonsense on TV. This is the life that they have made, and this is the wonderful advancement of Western civilization. That they've created so many useless things, and then people have become attached to them. So much so that they'll fight if they're taken away. This is some kind of insanity. And it's an anartha that stops advancement in devotional service. The next weakness of heart is called kūṭī-nāṭī. Kūṭī-nāṭī means deceitful or crooked behavior. Politics, diplomacy, deception, exploitation, profiteering, you know, any kind of political games are all kūṭī-nāṭī. They're rejected by Vaishnavas. And what are they? A form of laziness. It's said that politics is the last resort of the incompetent. If you can't do anything else, you can't do any useful work, then you get into politics. It's the best way to get rich if you have no talent or intelligence. This is well known. Yet, nobody ever does anything about it. Because it's like high school. Remember in high school, the meanest bully in town becomes the most popular guy in high school. Isn't it? The big football star. Or the most shallow, vapid, stupid girl becomes the most popular girl in the school. And they have to work really hard at it. In fact, they work so hard at it that they don't have time for anything else. There was a nice essay, what's his name? Bruce, that guy who writes all that software stuff. Paul Graham, yeah, Paul Graham wrote a nice essay about this, about why nerds aren't popular in high school. And the answer that he came up with was that they're too busy learning stuff. Because they're intelligent. They know that someday high school is going to be over. And I'll have to go out in the real world and earn my living. So, man, while I'm here, I better learn stuff. See, while I've got the time, while I've got the freedom, where I don't have to work for a living, I better get my act together so that when I do have to take care of myself, I'll be able to work somewhere else other than, you know, a fast food place. So they study very